Alright folks, how are we doing? It's Shabash, it's Orna. Nagg is back along with the Mischievous Clurichuans, and realized I didn't actually make any kind of event video last time these guys around. I was on a wee break at the time, so let's have a quick look at what's available for the next 10 days, or well, 8 days or so now. So we've got Nagg and Arisen Nagg as two raid bosses. And yeah, these are pretty good for some things. Gear not necessarily being the major piece, but certainly for mushrooms, you're going to want to farm these. They're pretty cheap in terms of kingdom orns as well. So basically they drop these all these kind of shrooms. So you got Zerk shrooms, that's your normal, and then you got smelly shroom, which is like gives you Berserk 3. That's like double up for everything. And yeah, so it's a really good time to farm. Those smelly shrooms really, okay. If you're going deep endless runs, for example, or you want to do some kind of speed running, that's when those are mainly used. These raids, by the way, pretty annoying. Definitely recommend a briny pendant and then some kind of basic elemental resistance. So there's not too much difference between the Arisen version and the normal version of Nagg, apart from, okay, Kingdom level 2, you get this guy. Rip the old sprite. But in terms of gear-wise then, there's kind of one main item I really only talk about, because really, the other kind of gear that drop from these raids, they're only really great for this raid, almost, and they don't excel outside of this raid. So, if you haven't guessed what I'm talking about, I am talking about the smelly shoes. Let's see if we got a drop here, because I'm actually still hunting a certain drop. So we didn't get the drop. It is, I believe, a legendary rarity. But if I show you these raids here, so they both drop the smelly shoes, even though it's a tier A item. So the tier 7 normal non-Arisen Nagg will drop this, but you have to be tier 8 to get it. This is one of my most used. This is probably my most used leg piece in my entire Orna career, and certainly since playing Swash. This is a great Swash piece because it gives you blight immunity, which is super annoying. There's so many things in this game which can cause blight. Now, if you are planning to play Swash, you do want to pick up a broken rarity of this, and even better is a broken elemental piece, which is something I haven't got. And this is the third time round at least that I'm fighting Nagg. So I'm still trying to pick up some kind of elemental smelly boots. Ideally for me, it would be lightning or fire, because I already get water resistance from Feyeti coat. But definitely get a broken piece and start leveling that this month. And if you get that elemental piece as well for Swash, it's really good. I mean, I say Swash, I'm mainly talking about Realm Swash, because of course Deity Swash, for example, already has Steadfast, so you know the chances of getting Blight are much lowered. But for Realm Swash, it's a really amazing piece. Anything else really, like the hat, you know, it's really the Vandal stuff. It's not that great. I would say the belt, if you pick up a couple of belts, you can keep, gives you some kind of status resistance. 8%, I believe, is the value. So yeah, rarity doesn't really matter, apart from, yeah, you get some extra mana, extra dexterity. The Clurichuan arrows that drop from the Arisen version are pretty nice, actually. Gives you volley 2, second skill. So, you know, from tier 7 to kind of tier 8, 9, it's pretty good because it doesn't drop down your ward, unlike, you know, the Blight arrows or Arcane arrows. So these are actually pretty good as well. Nothing else really to comment on, in my personal opinion. Farm those mushrooms and farm those smelly boots. So the next part of this event is something which I haven't played much around, so I'm really excited to get into it. That is these Mischievous Clurichuans. So the fairies of Nagg have shown themselves, end their mischief in raids and dungeons to earn unique rewards. Additionally, you will receive extra gold for defeating any enemy. So there's a heap of extra gold for this entire event. There we go. And these little guys show up in a range of themed dungeons, those being Goblin Fortress, Mystic Caves, and Chaos Portals. So I'm here, got a Goblin Fort and a Chaos Portal, which I'm going to run through. But basically, all of these guys, they drop a certain kind of offhand, and all the offhands give extra bonus gold, which is pretty useful later on. And for example, they all have like an offhand ability, specific offhand ability. They all give a little gold bonus. They all have some little stats, and most of them kind of give you some bonuses or status immunities as well. So I got a nice little ornate one here. You can see the stats are pretty low, but what I recommend, you see the gold bonus 50% here. Once you Master Forge this, Demon Forge it, and during this month God Forge it, yeah, it doesn't really matter the starting rarity of any of these offhands. It works the same way as other kind of ore and gold boosting items. So pick any of these up. I would definitely, Demon Forge one that you can use, and just gives you the option, if you're low on gold, which can definitely happen, even in the mid game, like tier 7, the Tiamat gear, super expensive if you're putting a dormants in. This is a good way to farm quick gold. You just stick one of these in your offhand. And so basically, if you're going to set up your auto dismantling, by the way, for these guys, the tier 4, all of the ones in the tier 4 are Goblin Fortress, and then in the Mystic Cave they're all tier 6, and then in Chaos Portal they are all tier 8. And in terms of usefulness, really, Kong's got his great guide here for this event, in the event checklist. There is a boss as well, Amadan, tier 8, only exists in the Chaos Portal. And then there's kind of 3 in the Goblin Fortress, Ain, Connell, and Finn. And then you've got in tier 6, Amergan, Brickew, and Cormac. And then tier 8, you've got Beeg, Fergus, and the Amadan boss as well. So in terms of actually these offhands that are useful, you're kind of mainly looking at these AoE ones like the Brickew's Bow, which gives Arrow Storm, and then the Amadan Staff, which gives Lacunis, as offhand abilities. It kind of gives you an AoE outside the normal specs, which are locked. Now, for melee, you're kind of, well, with Wave Fencer, you're not kind of locked into either Ranger or using this Brickew's Bow. Now Sweep is actually super effective, and okay, this bow probably won't see as much use as before, but if you're Swash, for example, with really high attack, you might want to make use of it. The Amadan Staff, okay, there was quite an amount of nerfing going on, I believe, when that was released, but I'm not sure the power of it right now. So this is the standard quality Brickew's Bow, so you get the Arrow Storm ability, and it looks like actually the higher tier version of these offhands give more gold bonus as well. So that's something to bear in mind. Also causes stunned. Another one quite interesting is actually American's Razor, not necessarily for horizontal slash, but gives you immunity to bleeding. And yeah, there's not a lot of places you can get bleeding immunity at all. So that is also an interesting, probably this Razor, the Bow, and Amadan's offhand, most interesting ones. You'll definitely want to run these themed dungeons horde mode if you can, or with a party, because the drops aren't super common. There's a Finn Spear there, and if you're doing this, non-horde or non-party, there's quite a few mobs, especially in like the Mystic Cave these days. They will end up being, you won't see them super often. So this will be my first Chaos Portal I've actually run this event. So I'm running no dismantling, auto dismantling to get this tier 8s, at least in standard quality. Got the Beeg's Loot. Actually, I did see a post right now today that Beeg's Loot might be useful with the summoning, the new Summoner class line. You can proc buffs on your summons. Okay, you have also the Charmer, Sonata of Power, those kind of buffs, but you do get the Beag's loot, you can provide the skills called Anthem. It's a much lower proc rate than the Charmer of Us, for example, but you know, it could be an option. Here's Fergus. Let's see what he gives us. I need to get rid of this burning effect. Got his hammer. So now I just really need Amadan stuff, I believe. Get that Twilight Stone. Just got him, but didn't drop anything. Just missed him there, but I didn't drop anything anyway. Toast has just joined me here. Gonna run through the end of this dungeon with him providing the backing soundtrack, if you can hear that. Okay, we didn't get Amadan's staff, unfortunately. And finally, the tier 6 guys are in Mystic Caves. You can find them in here. So Mystic Caves actually been pretty stacked recently with additional mobs. So yeah, again, you want to do these horde mode or in a party if you can, especially just to get Riku's bow if you're some kind of melee player. But if you're, you know, higher tier, you've got the Lost Memories, you've got Arisen, Immortal Lords in here as well. So yeah, pretty stacked in here these days, especially you only get maximum 3 mobs on the floor. Wouldn't mind them kind of upping the limit to maybe at least 4 mobs. What do you reckon? Because yeah, it's quite a lot of mobs in here these days. There's Cormac. See if he drops us anything nice. Oh, we get his Shotel. Couple of brick reviews here. Hopefully you get an ornate bow. Nah, not this time. Kind of hoping for a legendary and above of everything would be nice, but I'm not sure how much I'm going to be farming them with the Draconian event on running alongside at the same time. Gotta, yeah, prioritize that most probably. There's a Arisen Immortal Lord. I wouldn't mind an ornate Arisen Nagg as well while we're here, but maybe another day. Cormac back. Yeah. So really want to thank Mois from Sons of Monarchy FR for the thumbnail. He provides me a lot of the thumbnails. Actually, he's yeah, into the artwork. He even has the town planner. He won that competition as well. That town planner in-game title. So that's super cool. Really thanks for him to sharing those artwork with me, allowing me to post on YouTube, and of course the Arisen Orna Legends for continued support from Patreon, Twitch, and on the Discord server as well. Big thanks to you guys. And yeah, that is the Mischievous Clurichuans. Quite like the mythos behind these guys. Thanks to you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know in the comments if you're liking this event, and yeah, any other questions you have on it. Otherwise, I'm Shabash, and we'll see you in the next video. Ciao.